So in the next 10 minutes, I want to go on a journey with you to explore some ways in which we can consider increasing awareness and uptake of technical routes to employment. Imagine a world where people are not only aware, but deeply engaged in whatever routes of education they choose to grow with. So let's explore how inspiring more curiosity can help solve a skill gap in our economy. So I know you're already going to dive into the subject, but let me start by giving you a bit of background on why I'm passionate about these topics and how they tie into our mission. So as I mentioned, my name is Alex Hughes. I'm the founder of Inspire to Ignite, also the Citizen Hub, and recently appointed Chair of Trustees at the Green Jobs Foundation. My focus has always been on creating opportunities for people who are furthest away from education pathways. Through Inspire to Ignite, we've developed programs and spaces where young people can find their way into meaningful work via community, and the Citizen Hub project is our community-centred answer to fill in the gaps traditional job centres often leave behind. I've spent years obsessing over the social dynamics that influence people's choices, and today with my new role at the Green Jobs Foundation, I remain curious and optimistic about how we can contribute to people making more informed and empowered decisions. Today I share my perspective with, unsurprisingly, a social lens on the challenge posed to us. So skills shortage is having a huge impact on business. Open University's business barometer highlights 62% of organisations are struggling to find the right skills. Similarly, Manpower Group found that 80% of UK employers report talent shortages, the highest level in 18 years. This gap's costing the UK economy 22 billion annually due to recruitment challenges, inflated salaries, underutilised talent. Despite this, only 19% of businesses have their own internal skills plan to deal with it themselves. It makes you think, if we were to design pathways that focus not just on education, but on delivering immediate practical skills, could we close that gap? If the majority of businesses don't have their own plan to resolve their issues, is it so surprising that the problem is difficult to solve? And today we're talking about technical routes into employment, but we've identified that there's a skills gap, else we wouldn't be talking about it, and I'd be able to retire from my mission to bridge it. I want to take the fact that investment in youth services has plummeted by 71% over the past decade, and the number of youth clubs has nearly halved. Is there a social problem that needs to be resolved first? And if there is, and we resolve it, would the skills gap disappear with it? So let's look at the social problem. So socially, there's currently 900,000 young people aged 16 and 24 that are not in education, employment or training, up from 812,000 last year. A big contributor to this is poor public transport. My local council spending over 25 million on school taxis alone last year just to get young people around. These challenges have wider consequences. Mental health issues are rising, and there's been a 22% increase in youth crime. Schools in 2021 and 22 had 22.5% of pupils were persistently absent, around 1.6 million children affected. These are the same young people we expect to engage in technical education this year, yet many are falling through the widening cracks, with absenteeism rates still above pre-pandemic levels. The social shortage is clearly having an impact on technical routes to employment, but the solution isn't just with the education system, it's in our communities. So the social shortage. So young people today are facing a social shortage, a crisis that's harder to see but has a huge impact on their future. Without the right information, advice and guidance, many young people are missing out on work exposure. Geographic barriers make it harder for some to access opportunities, and regional disparities mean that some areas have more support than others. This leads to long-term disengagement, with young people feeling left out of the system, especially where youth infrastructure is crumbling. If we don't address these social shortages, we can't solve the skills shortage. To create real change, we need to fix this by improving access to information, advice and opportunities, because if you can't see it, you can't be it. So a couple of stories. So Bo's a young person with autism and extreme social anxiety, faced significant challenges, starting as NEET with no confidence, and by joining an entrepreneurial program in her community in May 2022, Bo learned digital skills, launched a successful accessory business, and even became a creative director for a film nominated for an award. In just over a year, Bo overcame these barriers with her community, giving their first public talk to a standing ovation and now mentoring other young people. Bo's journey shows the power of resilience and the right support from the community. Bo is not the exception. This could be the rule with the right support. Another person, Adam. So Adam faced immense tragedy in his family, battling trauma while also becoming a young father. With the pressure of providing for a son, he didn't care what he did for money, as long as it made his son proud. That all changed when he found a safe space in the community where fate led him to sit next to the director of a large employer, recognizing and that person recognizing Adam's character as a qualification. The director then offered him an apprenticeship in welding. Thanks to the community support, which also helped solve social barriers like transport, Adam is now on a new path to a promising future in a sector we're crying out for talent. What Adam's story shows is that barriers we often talk about are not insurmountable with the right mentorship and community support. So can social investment close the skills gap? Absolutely. But it's not just an economic issue. It's a community problem that requires everyone's participation. Involving young people and industry partners in the co-creation process ensures that solutions meet the real needs of interests of participants. By giving young people an active role in shaping these initiatives, we ensure their commitment and engagement in the process. It's about listening to the voices of those who are most impacted. Imagine the change we'd see if we let young people help shape the future skills development. Everyone would feel the progress is being made, and the conversation about the skills gap would evolve into one of empowerment and real solutions. So solutions, just some insights from my own perspective. So right now, the approach to technical careers pathways often focuses too much on meeting educational criteria without addressing how young people relate to the careers. When we ask young people to make choices, we're really saying, here's what you need to do for a qualification, without connecting it to real life steps afterwards. It's about who can afford it, access it, or meet the academic requirements. But what if we flip the narrative? What if instead we asked, who do you look up to and relate to? If young people connected with an interest, whether it's a subject or their own economic outcomes, the how would follow quite organically. Big Manny, if you don't know Big Manny, Google him, is an example of how language can signal this shift. STEM is spreading thanks to influencers like him, but we need to connect these dots for pathways beyond initial awareness, and that's how we make technical careers scalable and relatable. Work experience is one of the most powerful tools to inspire young people and expose them to various industries. I've personally walked through hundreds of workplaces, and what stands out is many young people landed opportunities through someone they knew in their community. And I know for a fact that 30% of jobs are created and not found. This kind of exposure needs to be available all year round, not just a short-term program. It's a privilege that needs to be celebrated, and those who thrive in these experiences should be rewarded with regular exposure to the economy around them. It's also about skill development, helping young people gain industry-specific skills, digital expertise, and soft skills that prepare them for future job market. When we enhance social mobility by providing these opportunities, we give young people the tools they need to engage with the available pathways when they're ready to engage. And lastly, community learning. Encouraging young people to think creatively and develop their skills is crucial, but it's not just about formal education. Communities alongside the public and private sector play a massive role in filling the gaps where traditional systems might fall short. The community can act as a bridge, providing young people with access to mentoring, guidance, hands-on experience that extend beyond the classroom. It offers a sense of belonging, helping young people navigate social challenges and gain confidence, while also providing the support and advice they need to succeed. Formal education is often limited by time, by design, but the broader community offers flexibility, inspiration, and continued learning. As Desmond Tutu famously said, there comes a point where we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in. Communities can be the ones building the bridge upstream, giving young people the tools to thrive in every aspect of life. Tutu's point was about solving the root causes, not just managing symptoms. And that's what we need to do, fix the structures so young people don't fall through. And lastly, let's just quickly sum up the key wins that I think we need to focus on to boost participation in technical routes. So work experience, exposure to real world work early on is crucial, but it shouldn't be a one-off. We need year-round access for young people, not just those with connections. Let's make these experiences engaging, rewarding, and sparking excitement. Community infrastructure, this is your safety net. Communities, social ventures, and local organizations can provide the support and guidance and mentorship young people need. It's about learning both in and outside of the school, building confidence and problem-solving skills. Role models. Young people are inspired by relatable success stories. We need to amplify the voices of those who've walked similar paths and bring them into the classrooms, online and beyond. And lastly, media. The right message at the right time is powerful. The content young people consume can introduce them to careers they never knew existed. Let's shape those stories and make them visible. As we continue today, think about how we can pull on these levers. When we connect work experiences, community, role models, and media, we'll see young people not just participating, but thriving in technical education. Thank you for listening to me, and I look forward to connecting with those who see this as an opportunity to innovate.